Good morning students. Today I am going to explain about inflorescence types. Okay. So in online class I have explained about a type of inflorescence that is based on the terminal axillary cauliflowers. Okay. That is based on the position the inflorescence is classified. Now I am going to explain about second classification of the inflorescence. That is based on the branching pattern and the number of the branchings and the flower arrangement pattern. So based on that we will be classifying into a second type of the inflorescence. So it's basically based on the branching pattern and their other character. Okay. So in this actually you should know about the main thing, that is it's about inflorescence. Okay. In this inflorescence, what I am going to explain is that second type. Okay. So this inflorescence you should know about this. So this is classified based on the branching and the number. So based on a branching and number of branches and arrangement of flowers. Okay. Arrangement of flowers. These three things are very important to making the type of the inflorescence. Okay. So this inflorescence again, generally you will be having 4 types. Okay. First one, based on this you will be having 3. That is, one is determinate, indeterminate. One indeterminate. Second one is determinate. Or it's also called indeterminate and determinate. Indeterminate, it's also called Resimus. It's also called Resimus. Okay. So Resimus, Resimus. Third one is mixed inflorescence. So in this type of inflorescence, which is having both the characteristic of these indeterminate and determinate. Okay. So that you should know. Okay. Next, fourth one is that is special inflorescence. The special inflorescence is does not confine to any of these types. Okay, which does not confine any of these types. That is special inflorescence, and this is mixed inflorescence, which is consisting of both indeterminate and determinate character. That is, Resimus, flower pattern is there, branching pattern is there, and you will be having the mixed branching pattern also is there. Okay, so this is very important that you should know. Okay. So next I am coming to this indeterminate I am going to explain in detail in this video. Okay. So first you should know about the Resimus and Resimus. What is this called? Resimus and Resimus. Okay. So this Resimus or the Resimus, it's also called, generally you should know about this Resimus and Resimus. Okay. This is nothing but, okay. So what I am trying to explain from this diagram, this is a Resimus diagram. This is Resimus diagram. This is Resimus, this is Resimus. How can you say that Resimus is? I already told you it is a indeterminate. So indeterminate means it's actually, this tip is actually it's growing. Okay, so it is not a limited. It is unlimited in their growth. So it is an indeterminate, also called Resimus. I have drawn this diagram here, the big size flowers, and when you are coming to the apex, that is you are coming to the tip of the branch, you will be having the tip of the branch having a very small flowers when compared to the base of this plant. So it is having the oldest flower and big flower, oldest flower present at the base, and the new or the young flower present at the tip. So it is called base apex pattern. Okay, so base to apex you will be having oldest flowers. So this is called acropetal succession. What is this? Acropetal succession. And if you are taking a zymos, it is having very small size flower at the base. When you are coming to the tip, you will be having a big size, that is old flower at the tip or the apex, and the young flower at the tip or the apex, and old flower presenting at the base is called basipetal succession. Basipetal succession. So the meaning of the acropetal succession is base to apex. Base to apex, old flowers to a new flower, or the young flower, you can keep it in the mind. Here the apex to base, you will be having an old flower to young flower. So this is the meaning of acropetal succession, basipetal succession. What is the succession? The succession of the flower arrangement, the succession of the inflorescence arrangement. What is inflorescence? I have explained you lot of time in our online class. Group of flowers arranged in a particular manner, or the particular arrangement, particular order, that is called inflorescence. We are going to study detailedly about the flower in the later part of this lesson, but now I am going to explain about inflorescence only. Inflorescence is a group of flowers which is present arranged in a particular manner. Okay, so this inflorescence, again, it is based on the branching, number of branches, arrangement of the inflorescence. You will be having the 4 types, that is indeterminate or the racemose, determinate or the zymose, mixed inflorescence, and special inflorescence. In this indeterminate or the Resimus, we will be having, I am going to explain about this Resimus in the detail. You should know what is the Resimus and zymose. So Resimus means nothing but it is having unlimited growth or the indeterminate growth, so that it is also called indeterminate type. It is having limited growth, so that it is called determinate or the limited or the zymose type. So if you are taking this the Resimus is acropetal succession. So in the plant என்ன மாதிரி inflorescence இருக்கும் அப்படினா, the base la all the old flowers will be there. Old inflorescence is present at the base to apex, so that called acropetal succession. And if you are taking the zymose, that is having the from the apex to base, you will be having a oldest flower to young flower. So that is, it is called the that is a basipetal succession. Okay, so this is about a succession of the flower that you should know about this. Okay, and also you should know usually the oldest flower that presenting at the base. Okay, so where is the oldest flower present in there? How you can classify the basipetal and acropetal, I have explained you. Now I am coming to the centripetal, centrifugal. So suppose I told you flower is here in the Resimus enzyme. The flower opening is called blossoms, right? So the flower have to open. When it is in the bud stage, it has to open, then only we'll call it a flower, right? So the flower opening pattern from the center to a peripheral is called centrifugal. What is that called? It is called centrifugal. That is called centrifugal. The flower which is opening from the periphery to middle is called centripetal. What is that called? Centripetal. So in the Resimus having the one type is, it is a acropetal succession, and it is having a unlimited growth, and it is having limited growth, zymose, and it's a basipetal succession. I want to say that is this acropetal succession, along with that, it is having the centripetal. What is this called? Centripetal. Centripetal type of fluorescence means that is the peripheral part is open. So suppose this is a Resimus type of plant. Okay, this plant has to blossoms like this. So first it is has to the middle part has to be open. Then the peripheral part has to be open. So this is called centripetal. Okay, and centrifugal if you are taking, The centrifugal, if you are taking, suppose this is flower, it has to blossom like this. This is a bud. So the middle part has to be open. Then the centrifugal part, that is peripheral part, is open. So that is called centripetal. Okay, centrifugal. Okay, so this is called centripetal and centrifugal. Okay, its middle portion has to be opened in the first. Okay, its middle portion has to be opened in the first. Okay, so the centripetal means it's actually the peripheral part. Okay, sorry, நான் மாத்தி சொல்லிட்டேன். It's இதோட outer part வந்து first blossom ஆகும், next middle blossom ஆகும். Here the middle part has to be open, then followed by the peripheral part. Peripheral meaning is the outer part of the flower. Middle means the center part of the flower. The central part of the flower first opens in case of the veil, in case of the resimus. And first the outer part is open in the centrifugal. The center part is open in the centripetal. Centripetal takes place in the resimus, and centrifugal takes place in the zymos. So this is about your Resimus zymos differences that you have studied. Okay, and one more basic you should know that is not in this part of this lesson. So what is pedicellate flower? What is a sessile flower? That you should know. So suppose whatever whether it is a Resimus flower or the zymos flower, that is next thing. Suppose this is a plant which is having a fruit or the leaves or the flowers which is having a stalk to connect with the stem, right? So if it is having the stem which is connecting the branch which is connecting the stem and the flower is called pedicellate flower. What is this? Pedicellate flower. If the flower is there but no branch in between the stem and flower is called sessile flower. What is this called? Sessile flower. So you should know what is a sessile, what is a pedicellate, what is centrifugal, what is a centripetal, and what is acropetal succession and what is a basipetal succession. These things only differentiating this Resimus zymos. Resimus zymos definitely you will be having in the 3-mark question. Okay, so that's all about your introduction of the inflorescence and what are all the things you should know about this Resimus zymos differences I have explained. Okay, now I am coming to the explanation of the Resimus alone. Okay, I already told you the Resimus which is comes under the indeterminate. Okay, so this Resimus generally having the generally this Resimus is having unlimited growth in their pattern. The central axis is a possess terminate. So I already told you it is a indeterminate. Why I should say it is indeterminate always? Because it is indeterminate means it is a supposed Resimus flower. It is definitely having a terminal bud. Okay, so this is terminal bud, this is axil bud. I already explained you in the vegetative morphology lesson, right? So in this thing, you should know about the what is terminal bud, what is axil bud. This terminal bud is actually growing, always growing. So it is called indeterminate or the Resimus type of growth, and it is always having the pedicels. Okay, so it's old flower at the base. It's old flower at the base. When you are coming to the apex, you will be having a small size of flower. Same thing. So this is this type of succession is, I told you, acropetal succession. What is this called? Acropetal succession, and it is having a centrifugal type of flower opening. Centrifugal means that is the center of the flower scale. First it blossoms. Next the periphery, outer part of the flowers will open. So that is called a centripetal. And also it is having a both pedicel type, that is pedicellate flowers. Flower with the flower which is connected with the stem with the help of branch is called pedicellate. The flower which does not connecting with the branch of the stem, it is directly attached to the stem, is called sessile. So these are all the things that you should know about the Resimus. Okay, and coming to the type of the Resimus, you will be having a 4 types is there. Sorry, 3 types is there. That is, so I told you inflorescence. Okay, we are studying about inflorescence. This is main branch. Okay. Okay. So in this you should know about the main axis. So this is inflorescence. This is group of flowers. Okay. So this group of flowers is carrying by a main axis. What is this called? A main axis. This is, you should know what is called main axis. Okay. This is, and this இதெல்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க அப்படின்னா, இங்கே ஒரு ஃப்ளவர் இருக்குன்னா this is main axis. Main axis. From the main axis only. இங்க இருந்து இன்னொரு branch போகுது அப்படின்னா அது இல்லை. So this is main axis. Okay. So in this main axis, based on this main axis, this resimus is classified into two types. That is main axis elongated. Main axis elongated. Next is main axis shortened. Main axis is shortened. And main axis flattened or globus. So எப்படி இருக்கும்? Main axis elongated and main axis shortened. Okay. And main axis flattened or globus. ஒரு மாதிரி உருண்டையா இருக்கிறது. Okay. So this is a main axis shortened or main axis globus or the shortened அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Okay. புரிஞ்சுதா?